Andrew S. here, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the brand new album from Fractal Gates, One with Dawn. Now this album, in my opinion, has the best Visions pieces. Now Fractal Gates has, Visions pieces, these atmospheric pieces throughout all their albums, several of them each album. But in my opinion, these are the best Vision pieces that have been constructed for this album. They're unbelievably alluring and comforting. I felt like, they're not only astral and atmospheric in this album. I felt like there was this sort of dystopian vibe, like the sort of hum in an abandoned mega city sort of feel. And I just thought it was really gripping and really set the tone for the album. And I really like what they did with these, bridging the songs together. They're fantastic in my opinion, and they're just really gripping and going right into this first track, Shining Falls. This is signature Fractal Gates. Seductive lead melodies that lure the listener, backed by hard-hitting drums, potent mind-jarring chords, and intense harsh vocals. And the one thing I really liked about this is the brief phrasing elevation at times added some spirit and vigor to the melody. Now Fractal Gates does this once in a while, does this phrasing elevation. It really adds to the melody and the main hook, and I thought they just did a fantastic job doing that. And it's really smart that where they did it too. The first opening track here, they add this. Obviously they have this really good hook for the chorus, but then they do this phrasing elevation and it just adds even more dimension to it and really grabs the listener. I'm like, that's just smart. Do it right off the bat. Grab the listener. The next song really grabbed me as well, Seamless Days. Once again, the astral atmosphere just stuns me with several varying, vibrant leads, which I felt were so hypnotic, and combining with this warm rhythm, guitar tone, and some few chord progressions throughout, really created this euphoric feeling and hypnotic as well. I just really like what they captured in these first two songs. Really a lot of depth and dimension, a lot of atmosphere, a lot of emotion, and a lot of melodies, captured within these first two tracks. And they really do that on the next song, and then they have some specialty on this one as well, Into the Unknown. This showcases a perfect contrast for both the main singer for Fractal Gates, Sebastian Pierre, and the guest singer, Davis Artigas. And I really like how well they connect with the music overall and the aura within the song. You got Sebastian Pierre doing his harsh vocals, and the music really applies to that. But at the same time, you got the clean vocals from Davis, and how well that was done. So I thought the song was really well constructed for both singers to both have that harsh intensity, but sort of relaxed, maybe cleaner stuff for the clean vocalist here. So I just thought that kind of went hand in hand, and they did it for the other guest singer on the album as well. So I can say like Fractal Gates did the same thing with Egan O'Rourke on the title track, which I just thought was really smart to do, is just writing the songs and getting the vocalist in the right spot in the right songs. I just thought it was really smart idea to the way they did this, and the vocalists doing it as well, singing appropriately for the song. So I just thought really good job by both guest singers on this album. Now the next song is When the Distance Paints Us. This one I really like. There's unification between the guitar work and the synth that created this great atmosphere. When you get this sort of starry calmness that arrives, I felt like the lead melodies got to shine, because the song kind of eased up a bit, so the lead guitar melodies really shined, and they shined like a bright, vibrant star, which is something I kind of feel once in a while from Fractal Gates, is that just sort of shines vibrant like a star in the night. And I really got to feel the bass and drums deliver as well. I thought they just added a lot of heaviness and bottom end to this song. So right off the bat, we got this first half of the album, there's just so much depth and a lot of different things going on. We got the addition of clean vocalists in there as well, which adds some dimension, big time as well. This next track I want to talk about has some wonderful tones as this album just keeps growing and rolling, gets even better in my opinion. This next track is Half Alive. These tranquil and seductive bits that flow nicely in and out of the calming, mesmerizing leads, and these warm rhythms that connect so well just before the chorus with Sebastian Pierre, they really illuminated the soul. I felt I really liked that bottom end that come out of these warm rhythms and connect with Sebastian's vocals. They just do a great job, and it kind of gave me this euphoric feeling once again, which is kind of unique. I mean, I think the warm rhythms, I think the rhythm work really gives me that euphoric feeling because it happened in Seamless Days as well. So it could be the possibility there. But anyways, Half Alive is a great track. I really enjoyed this. And then, you know, I'm going into, I'm going to say my must listen. I keep saying highly recommend in my videos. I'm like, why don't I just say must listen? Because then I put that track as a focal track down in the description below. But anyways, the must listen is Hyperstate. This bestowed amazing collection of subtle and technical musicianship, lead melodies that danced and shimmered, where the rhythms were tight and gripping, and the picking really attributed the song feeling as we're in a hyperstate while the pace was tempoed back. I really thought that sort of contrast was really cool. The drums were tempoed back, and the guitar picking, you know, was still fast. It still kept a cool pace. So I thought that was a nice contrast, and you know, it gets your mind thinking. It gets you listening to different little hooks and things like that, and that's why Hyperstate is my must listen. I really thought, you know, drummer Jeremy Burkett, you know, did a fantastic job. I really like his drum work, but just subtleties in this song made it help, you know, stand out and elevate this track. And my favorite lyrics on this album come from Hyperstate and these two tracks, Serenity and Severance. These are a pair of hard-hitting tracks with some thick and mean riffs throughout, extremely well-done drums, signature Fractal Gates lead work, and some very creative metaphorical lyrics that cast these great visuals on me, which is great because I already have these sort of visuals on me, as you know, from the atmosphere that Fractal Gates creates in their songs and their musicianship. So, you know, having these lyrics come alive, I really felt like added a whole nother dimension, and Sebastian Pierre delivering them. So I got hit with even more visuals. I just like this pair of tracks put together. They blend nicely together. They're hard hitting. Just Serenity and Severance just go hand in hand really nicely towards the end of the album. And then we get to go into what I call kind of Fractal Gates putting out the rare, pleasant, emotional atmosphere they sometimes do in Echoing Motions. Really great track to close out the album. The essence of this atmosphere really comes alive even more as you drift through the, you know, the space and time of this atmosphere, and you get wrapped up in all the luminous auras within Echoing Motions. And I kind of, you know, attribute that to Egan O'Rourke. I think he helped that sort of feeling with his poetic, calming vocals to create that atmosphere. I just think he did a fantastic job, and kudos, I think, as I was thinking about this, is Fractal Gates, kudos to them for using, you know, Davis Artigas and Egan O'Rourke in the right songs at the right place, the right lyrics, all those types of things, using them to, you know, utilizing them to the best of their abilities in the right songs in the right spots. And I just thought that is really smart, and these guys really added another dimension to Fractal Gates. Who would have thought that they could have added another layer? But they definitely did on this album. There was a lot of new sort of atmospheres and feelings that I got out of this, you know, new little drum tidbits. There's some cool guitar stuff that I really got to hear. Fractal Gates, I think, is always kind of evolving and adding little dimensions here and there to, you know, separate the album, separate the songs. And this album, One With Dawn, could be, you know, the best in my opinion. Beyond the Self, I thought it was fantastic, but this one could definitely rival it. So all the links for One With Dawn down in the description below, along with my must listen. I put that in there, so that'll be down there at the top of the song list. I hope, and feel free to check out Fractal Gates, One With Dawn. I really enjoyed this album, and I hope you do too. Till next time, folks, have some heavy listening.